Welcome back to the Cannabis Podcast with some news out of Europe. Spain approves decree to legalize medical cannabis use in its healthcare system. Now, thanks for being here. We appreciate you showing up, supporting this channel. Smash the like button, subscribe. Let's get into it. The Spanish cabinet approved a royal decree on October 7th to regulate medical cannabis in standardized preparations as a therapeutic alternative for patients in the country's healthcare system. Under the decree, specialist physicians could prescribe medical cannabis to those with chronic or refractory pain, severe epilepsy, spasticity due to multiple sclerosis, cancer, and other conditions where conventional treatments have proved ineffective, according to the Spanish Ministry of Health. Spain's Council of Ministers, the executive branch decision-making body headed by Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez, authorized the decree at the country's Minister of Health proposal. Spain's Congress still needs to vote on the proposal. Per the decree, patients will be limited to accessing medical cannabis that's exclusively dispensed in Spain's hospital pharmacy services. The Spanish Agency for Medicines and Medical Devices will be tasked with ensuring that the medical cannabis formulas prescribed by doctors meet certain quality, safety, and dosage standards. The decree leaves many of the specifics of a forthcoming government program to be determined by various health agencies. But the decree intends to provide a model that's flexible to changes based on, quote, scientific advances and available clinical evidence. In addition to scientific evidence, many countries often shape their cannabis policies with international control in mind, as well as treaty obligations under the United Nations 1961 Single Convention on Narcotic Drugs. Now, most people haven't really heard about this treaty, and I didn't until I really started researching cannabis. It's a fascinating thing, which we're going to do a video on here, not so distant future. That's what I meant to say. But it speaks to what we've been talking about. Countries and states legalize with international futures in mind. Let's get back into it. Canada, which legalized adult use cannabis in 2018, is the first G7 nation to reform its policies to regulate a commercial cannabis program that allows for dispensary sales to non-medical consumers. In Europe, Germany reformed its cannabis laws in 2024 to reclassify the plant as a non-narcotic, allowing for personal possession and home grows. This policy shift didn't necessarily change perception, though. However, many of Germany's general practitioners remain reluctant and rarely prescribe medical cannabis because there's no real infrastructure, so you're setting it up first. Could Spain be different? We'll see, but the royal decree approved this week does not establish a fixed list of qualifying conditions as most states in the U.S. provide under their state-sanctioned medical cannabis programs. Instead, the decree requires the government to establish authorized clinical uses based on scholarly monographs and publish them within 3 months in the National Formulary. Yeah, that word. In other words, it's unclear if cannabis flower or other smokable forms will be available to Spain's patients, or if the government intends to limit access to other product forms such as oil, tinctures, that kind of thing. They'll also be tasked with managing a registry of standardized product formulas that are lab tested for THC and CBD, with products containing under 2.2% THC, subject to more stringent regulatory standards for manufacturing, distribution, traceability, and quality. While the Spanish cabinet approved the decree, it's not a done deal. The Spanish Congress is expected to vote on the proposal and could amend what becomes the final law. The OECM, which is the Spanish Observatory of Medical Cannabis, estimated that more than 300,000 people in Spain use cannabis to self-treat their medical conditions. Now, this is a great development. Congratulations to Spain. But I don't know, kind of almost sounds like an executive order kind of thing of what like our president could do. Like, and Congress still could vote on it, vote it down, change it, etc. But either way, this is cool. Good development. And either way, if we forget to come back to it later, I'm sure we will cover it once this is actually official. If this doesn't mean it's already official, I'm not in Spain, so I don't know how Spain does it. If you're listening and you're from Spain, let us know. what it's like there and how to go about getting medical cannabis. So it seems like a lot of countries in Europe, with those kind of leaning governments that prescribe healthcare to their patients, are providing it through their government agencies or government-sponsored pharmacies. Canada does that, and they grow it as well. Here in America, it's capitalism, so it's a different kind of thing. But it's interesting, and we'll keep an eye on it. So I guess congrats on Spain for moving the ball down the field and the court and whatever sport you choose to play. Until next time, stay blessed. Don't forget to tip your bud tenders.